Why did I keep the car? 10 people right there. 10 people. 10 more people. This pin. 2 people. This is gold. 2 more people. You would have given me 2 for it. At least 1. You would have given me 1. 1 more. 1 more person. Person, Stan. For this. I could have got 1 more person. And I didn't. I didn't.
I admire the heck out of Schindler. He felt so bad if he still kept a watch or something he could have sold to save a life. And there's a total lack of greediness on his part, that he was heartbroken that there's more he could have done to save a life. And that chokes me up, because I'm so much worse than Schindler. Right? If I sold everything I owned, I could save lives of people starving. But I can't do it. I'm not as altruistic as him. I'm like, no, I worked hard for this, and I gotta save it and buy a house. But I think he would have been willing to sell, every last thing he owned to help these people. So it's extremely admirable.
Do you think he would have been willing to sacrifice his own life for their eternal life? If he could choose between his eternal life or other people's eternal life, what would he choose? Would he sacrifice himself? We don't know, right? Because he never had to sacrifice his life.
Right.
All he had to do was sacrifice material possessions.
Yes.
See, I think I could be like Schindler. Even as selfish as I am, I think that if I had lots of riches, I would definitely use those riches to help people. I just wouldn't sacrifice my life. So I admire Schindler, too.
Okay, so, but if you had riches and you could put it into life extension research, which is going to help you, versus feeding people who are starving and they're not even going to last the next 5 years if they don't get fed, which is more important? Because we keep emphasizing, give to SENS or give to life extension, but I don't see that as big of a priority as the fact that some people won't even live to see tomorrow because they're literally starving to death.
Well, a lot of old people won't live to see tomorrow either. Right. So,
but they got 90 years. Some people they're 1 year old and they're about to die.
See, I think my way of seeing things is that an old person doesn't become less entitled to living longer just because they've lived a long time already. I think they're just as entitled to live longer. And so it's just a numbers game. You could save more people by curing aging than you could by feeding the starving children. More people are going to be saved.
Well, I think the United Nations ought to be like, get together and pass some world laws. I guess I want one world government. If they could pass some world laws, I think they should say anyone in the world who has, more than a billion, all you're allowed is $1 billion. Anything in excess of $1 billion, it has to go to feed the poor.
I agree with that.
At the very least, start with that. And then, figure out some ways to provide them water so they can grow food, and give them some animals that they can have some livestock so they can learn to be self-sustaining and not just, here's your bag of rice,
Well, why not just go all the way and start a full socialism so everyone's completely equal?
Well, the thing is, these people over in Nigeria or something who are absolutely skin and bones and starving to death, and they don't know what to do about it because, I don't know, there's not enough rain to grow food, whatever their problem is. They seem to be more in need of that help. These people who are so completely starving to death. But if you went to full-on socialism, then just the lazy bums who'd rather stand at the corner in America and hold up a sign, need help, and they could. What if they could get a job and they're just too lazy and they just want to be moochers? You know, you'd have to who's ever in charge of taking the excess of $1 billion and distributing it. You know, you'd want to find out the real needy people versus the lazy people. And then if that's still not enough to fix the planet, you know, the needs of the people, then we lower the amount. Okay, we took everything in excess of $1 billion. We still got starving people. So now we're going to make it so you can't have more than 50 million or whatever. Then you lower the standard, you know, or to the cap. And then you go help some more people. But really, I guess it's a form of definitely socialism, communism, Nazism, whatever it is, that I want to take from the rich.
Nazism?
Take fascism, what is it? I don't know. I want to be Robin Hood. I want to take from the rich and give to the poor. Doesn't seem right. That's why I'm so bad at helping the poor. Because I'm like, I want the people with the billions to do it.
So do you like Bernie Sanders then?
Because he's socialistic.
So are you a Bernie Sanders
I don't know.
fan?
I've been raised to be Republican. And see, in America, you do socialism in America, you got the hardworking people, you know, who went to school for 8 years and has $200,000 in tuition to pay, you know, and they make a lot of money as a doctor or whatever, having to help lazy people who didn't even want to bother to finish high school or whatever. And they're too lazy to even go to a can and collect aluminum cans and bottles and go recycle them. They just want to stand there with their sign. So, but what I was thinking more of helping was more on a world scale. Because on the world scale, there might be some real legitimate needs. And Bernie Sanders, if he might just, you know, distribute the wealth in America. And is he going to target the really elite, or is he going to take from middle class and give it to lower class? And that could be a problem, right?
Mm-hmm. But while he's doing that, he'd be taking from the rich and giving to the middle class, so it'd equal out, right?
Well, yeah, if they took from the real rich in America and gave to the middle and the lower class in America, that wouldn't seem so bad, but I'm worried that he's going to take from the middle class and give it to the poor.
And not take from the rich and give to the middle class?
Is he going to take from the rich?
I think so.
I haven't really listened to his platform that much. And the thing is, the real rich, they probably know how to protect themselves. They got their stuff in trusts and overseas, and what they got it hidden somewhere. So my plan may not work.
What do you think about Donald Trump?
Well, he seems good, and I know I've heard people say that he's really bad and stuff, but he doesn't seem bad to me. I like that he's strong on borders and that he isn't going to let terrorists come in under the guise of relocating immigrants, and that he knows business and he knows how to help America get out of debt. And I even respect that he would want to try to get along with Putin to help combat ISIS, which is better than what our leaders are doing, who are probably actually running ISIS, you know. So, yeah, I like him. Like that he says what's on his mind. Maybe he goes too far.
How?
Well, I
like that he's judgmental.
I think he talked to somebody, you know, he might say, well, you don't have you don't have any hair on your head, or your hands are too small, or your nose is big, or whatever.
It's people judging him that his hands are too...
deflect a real issue by throwing out some little insult.
People do it to him, though.
A little bit.
They make fun of his hair, and they make fun of his small hands.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
But it's okay. It's interesting. Everybody, people enjoy watching them because it's interesting. So maybe his juvenile tactics, they're just entertaining, so I don't mind them that much. So I've heard I overheard two women saying, I can't believe that a woman would vote for Trump. He's misogynistic. And I guess, what does that even mean? Misogynist? Does that mean he's all into putting women down? Do you even
I think it means kind of sexist. Misogynist kind of equal to sexist, I think.
Because I don't think he's that big on putting women down.
Yeah, no.
He married one.
Yeah. I think it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
He respects his daughter. She's a woman, Although, did he leave one woman for a younger one?
What do you think about his comment where he said,
because I don't like that.
If she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. Do you think that was... What do you think about that? You think that's...
Although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
No, how
Well, you're
terrible.
known for saying
Is that
outrageous
terrible?
things.
Well, he shouldn't say that, because how's that going to make his wife feel? That was a creepy thing to say. He could say, I'd be dating her. That is, if I wasn't already in love with my wife. If he doesn't qualify that, then you shouldn't say that.
So if he did qualify, it wouldn't be creepy? If he said, if it wasn't for my wife and,
it's not
it's
not that creepy, because basically he's just saying, hey, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's funny, she's everything I respect and want in a woman. Even if it is his daughter. Well, of course he shouldn't say, I'd be what was the whole statement?
He said,
if she's not my daughter, right?
Ivanka
so
wasn't my
basically
daughter.
he's saying, I'm not going to, because she is my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But basically she's the kind of ideal woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think so.
But did he leave his first wife on bad terms for his second wife? Did she get dumped because she was too old? Did that happen?
Not sure. I don't know. Maybe he thought he can get any girl anyway, so might want to get a younger one. He's so rich. What do you think about his judgment of Rosie O'Donnell? Do you think that's a good judgment?
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her; she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver.
I can't remember everything they said to each other, but maybe he was over the top insulting. But I don't remember what led up to him being that way. But I know it was very overtly insulting. A lot of people are like that, They'll tell people exactly what they think, and they're not. That it just goes to show that they're not living in fear of, no, if I say what I'm really thinking, somebody won't like me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I won't say what I'm really thinking because somebody won't like me, right? And so I think it just shows a strong sense of self, that you're not worried that you're going to step on toes. You're going to say what you really think.
What do you think about when he said that he doesn't ask for forgiveness because he doesn't need to, because he doesn't sin. He doesn't sin. He's so perfect.
I like to work where I don't really have to ask for. I like to do the right thing where I don't have to actually ask for forgiveness. Does that make sense to you? Where you don't make such bad things that you don't have to ask for forgiveness. I mean, I try and lead a life where I don't have to ask God for forgiveness.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I like that he thinks, what's his obsession with forgiveness? Just stop doing wrong things. I thought that was pretty cool.
Me too. I like that.
Now, here's a weird thing he said. He said, my voters love me so much that they would still vote for me even if I took out a gun, in the street and shot somebody down in cold blood. I think he's is showing a lack of respect for his voters. He's saying, I got you guys in my pocket.
He said that?
And wrapped around my finger, and you guys aren't even thinking human beings.
He said that?
You would vote, you're so stupid, you would vote for me even if I was a cold-blooded murderer. And so he shouldn't disrespect his voters like that.
He really said that?
Google it, man.
My people are so smart. And you know what else they say about my people? The polls. They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
I thought that was bad.
What do you think about his foreign policy?
Oh, I think he doesn't know too much about foreign affairs. I think they have a good point. They say, he doesn't really know that much about it. And he's just going to rely on picking good generals and good tactical people who are informed about what's going in the Middle East, and let them direct him on what's the best thing to do, and then he'll make the final decision on if it was good advice or not. And I think that that's good. Maybe it'd be better if he knew more about it himself, but if he's going to surround himself by people who are going to put him up to speed, that's not that big of a deal.